This week on the Braxtons.
Want that individual to have any type of platform on our platform ever again.
Won't happen, all right?
This, don't push.
Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of the Braxtons. That's season 1, episode 4. So let's get right into it. Okay guys, so a lot to unpack on this episode. So let's start at the beginning. It begins with Trina, Towanda, and their husband, or in the case of Towanda, her partner, arriving at the DMV area. They are here to meet with Kevin Jr. here in DC. I think they got an Airbnb. Trina and Towanda had this little hilarious little thing that they do when they say the same thing at the same time. Tawanda's guy Sean says, I don't want to see Van walking around with this place with his butt out naked. I think that's a pretty good demand. No one wants to see that. Also, Vaughn lost his ring. He has this crazy explanation, but he refuses to say that he lost it. Okay, so here's the thing, y'all. Towanda has started calling Lil Kev Scratchy. Apparently that's his nickname. The crazy part is no one knows who the hell is Scratchy. Last episode, her own kid said, "Who's that?" And then right now she said it again. And Vaughn says, "Who's that?" So no one knows him as Scrappy. I don't know why Towanda just saying that all of a sudden. So they're getting settled in. Then we see Toni in California. She calls Trina to see if they're in DC, if they're okay, if they've seen Kevin Jr. yet. Toni then asks if they should talk to Kevin's father, Traci's widower. Kevin, that's his name as well. Now, right away, Trina says, "Oh no, that's not good energy, that's negative, we're not doing that." If y'all remember, the sisters made a big deal that Mr. Kevin did a funeral for Traci, his wife. The sisters said that Traci didn't want a funeral, so they painted him as the bad guy. Now, Toni says something that I agree with, but I'm going to take it up a notch. How dare siblings think they know more or have more authority than someone's life partner, their spouse, the father of their child? This is my problem with these women. They think that it's their way or the highway. But yeah, Trina said no, it's not going to happen. So moving on, the couples in DC go to have some fun by driving some go-karts, which they say that Traci loved doing that, so that's really nice. It was fun. Poor Trina didn't drive fast enough, so she lost. Tawanda's man, Sean, won. Then they go to eat some pizza. So here's the thing. Towanda and Sean, they act like a married couple, but they're not. So Trina asks, are they going to get married? Because when the Braxton Family Values was on, Sean did ask the dad for her hand in marriage, but it's almost been 5 years since that, and nothing's happened. I wonder what's going on there, because he completely dodged the question as well. Going to Atlanta, we see Tamar. She was doing some podcast of one of her friends, and they were celebrating 100 episodes, and Tamar talks about some candle line that she has created to better her inner spirit and help her on her journey. She says that her son is the main reason that she keeps on going, which is great. Then, because this was being filmed, one of the guys pointed out that this is being filmed, so he asks, what made you guys decide to do the show again? Tamar didn't really want to answer the question. Then she says that the main reason is Traci who wanted it, but apparently the mom, Miss Evelyn, had to come ask Tamar to please join. She was the last one to sign up. Tamar says that the original Braxton Family Values never showed the real Tamar. So you're telling me that 7 years, you really think we didn't see the real Tamar? We did see her, and you know that. She also says that every single scene that she films, there has to be a therapist on demand. Damn. Yeah, Tamar wouldn't last an episode on The Housewives at all. Alright, so going back to Baltimore, the family is going to meet up at a restaurant where the food looked good. I want to go to Baltimore so bad just for the seafood. I really do. Mr. Braxton arrived first, and before the rest of the people got there, he does talk to Sean about what is going on. Is he going to marry his daughter or what? But Sean didn't really answer. He said something about, we're happy, but if something changes, I'll let you know. Again, kind of weird. So then everybody gets there. Trina, Vaughn, Michael Jr., their brother, and then his son and his wife and his child, and other family friends, but most importantly, little Kevin. Lil Kev asks them all, like, how y'all been since my mom's passing? Towanda says that she feels her energy everywhere, and then Mr. Braxton says Traci would call him every single day, so he misses her. Do y'all remember, by the way, when Mr. Braxton told Traci that she was his favorite? I'm sure he does miss her for real. So they ask Lil Kev what can they do for him as a family. Lil Kev says he doesn't know. If he reaches out, then they should probably know it's an emergency. Kev says, well, everyone, goes through their ups and downs. And the reality is he's a grown man. So he says he wants to figure things out by his self on his own. They say, no, it's not about us figuring out things for you. We just want to let you know you have our support and we're there for you. So then they ask him about his dad. What is going on? He says that Traci had written in her will for him to handle her arrangements. But Kev's dad thinks that maybe it wasn't done in her. She didn't assign that when she was in her right state of mind, and that it might have been influenced by her condition. Trina cries and says that Traci always made it clear that Lil Kev was going to be in charge of everything. Lil Kevin says that it sometimes feels like his dad blames him for this. So it feels like Kevin makes Lil Kev feel guilty for the way Traci left things. Lil Kev also says that his dad doesn't really ask him about him as a father should ask his son. Oof, so that was a lot. We also then see Tamar go to the gym with her assistant, who's the same age as me, by the way, 21. They work out, and then Tamar, she's getting ready to release an album and a book. And they talk about that. She teases the book and says that it will include the real reason she left Vince and the real reason she left reality TV. Left reality TV? I've seen this lady on Queen's Court, Big Brother, and now the Braxtons. What she means she left reality TV? I don't know about that. Alright, moving on. In DC, Trina and Lil Kev go to see attorney Antavius. He's still around. They are there to discuss a little about the will and straighten things out since there has been some disagreements with Lil Kev and his dad. So Antavius says that he met Traci many times. And he says that Traci told him that he could record her. So he claims that he has all of those conversations recorded. And he claims that Traci was definitely in her sound mind when she left everything under Lil Kevin's name. He says that's how Traci wanted it to be. He says, Lil Kev then says, I was born into this family, unlike my father who was married to it, so he needs to respect that and he needs to accept that. And then they discuss as well that Traci didn't want a funeral, but that Kevin Sr. did it anyway. So then they go back to the rental. Trina makes them all some drinks, and her husband is really a nut. He really is. So Trina then tells Towanda what the lawyer told them. Towanda says, yes, I'm glad Lil Kev is standing up for himself. His dad is selfish and jealous that he wasn't in the will. Then Trina says that the production wanted to film Lil Kev with his dad and Mr. Braxton, the three of them. Trina says that she made it very clear that she wasn't going to give Kevin a platform. Then Towanda loses her mind and screams at the producer, asking him, why did you want him to be on the show? The producer says, well, you know what? This is the Braxtons, so if y'all are not okay with it, then we're not going to do it. Towanda says, I never want that individual to have a platform through us ever again. Don't push me. Oh, you guys, so that was the end of the episode. So here's the thing. I'm so upset at this episode. First thing that upsets me is that Kevin Jr. and his dad aren't speaking after the most important woman in their lives is gone. That made them drift apart. That's heartbreaking. If it is true that Kevin is mad at his son because he was named the one who was going to take care of everything in the will, then and that he wasn't, then that makes him a low down deadbeat dad and a joke of a man. However, I gotta say this. I really do think there's more to the story. It's a feeling that I have. I'm not saying Lil Kev is lying. No, I actually believe everything he's saying. But there's something about the hate that these sisters have towards Kevin, especially that Towanda, that I want to know why. And I really do think it's a possibility that these sisters are drifting Lil Kev even further from his dad. And it could be one of the reasons why he still isn't talking to him. I don't know. Again, I don't know these people, so this is just my thinking. But I really do think there's more to the story. And I do feel bad for Kevin. He lost his wife of decades. So again, it doesn't make it okay if it is true that he's fighting with his son because of some damn will. That's horrible. But I need to hear Kevin's side of the story, and for Tawanda to be so mad, and Trina, that he was gonna be on camera. Well, how is it that y'all are going to talk about him for an entire episode and refuse to give him a platform? You are giving him a platform by talking about him. So I don't know, you guys. This made me feel a lot of ways, but I want to let you guys tell me, what do y'all think about this whole situation? Do y'all think there's more to the story? What is going on? So please let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on next time. You have a great one. Bye.